this specific feast of St. James, we call him the Great, distinguishing him with James, who sometimes is called the son of Alphaeus, or so in the church tradition we call him the Less. In Spain, they have a very great devotion to Santiago. In fact, famous is the so-called Santiago de Compostela, where there is also that famous El Camino. In fact, there is even, I think, is it a film where the main actor is Martin Sheen, and it speaks about this journey of the Camino to the shrine of Compostela, the shrine of Santiago. James is definitely a great apostle in the sense that it is known that he is a close associate of Jesus. Among the 12, Jesus chose 3 closer to him: Simon Peter, James, and his brother John, the so-called inner circle of Jesus. A closeness that made them experience more than what the others saw and even heard. We can discuss this after the Mass for those who wish to remain, because he is also the apostle I'd like to share knowledge about for you. But suffice here to look at the text chosen by the church. I think the responsorial psalm is fit to begin with. Those who sow in tears shall reap rejoicing. Sowing in tears is sowing in labor, in sacrifice. Yeah. Sa Tagalog po, di ba, magtanim, hindi biro. Ang pagtatanim, back-breaking ang tawag niya, sakit po sa balakang, sa likod, because palagi ka nakatuwad sa lakas ng araw. So, pag pinag-usapan ng trabaho, merong talagang kasamang kahirapan. Pero itong sowing in tears, hindi po ito manual labor eh. Mas matindi po ito. Sabi ni St. Paul, that ginamit dito, we are afflicted in every way. Not constrained, but we are perplexed. However, not driven to despair. We are persecuted, not abandoned though, struck down, but not destroyed. We always carry in our body the dying of Jesus, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifested in our body. So, afflicted but not constrained, perplexed but not driven, persecuted but not abandoned, struck down but not destroyed. Yun ang sabi, shall reap rejoicing. Yun. Kaya sabi, so that the life of Jesus may also be manifested in our body. We who are constantly being given up to death, but the life of Jesus will become ours. The risen life of Jesus, that means. Ito po ang gospel. Ang gusto ng mother, siyempre para sa kanyang anak, the best. Siyempre, sino ba ang nanay na hindi humihiling sa Diyos sa kanyang mga panalangin ng the best for her children? Hindi ko alam kung pinapanalangin ng mga nanay ang kanilang asawa to be the best. Okay ba yan? Pero definitely, ang mga nanay, pinagdadasan nila ang kanilang mga anak to be the best. Ano bang the best? What is best? Sorry. Mother knows best ba? Lady's choice. Ano yan? Tama yan? Mother knows best. Up to what point can a mother imagine the best for her children? Sad to say, I'm saying sad to say, kung ang mother knows best is na sana makapag-asawa ang kanyang anak, kung lalaki ng mala Miss Universe, o kaya ang kanyang anak na babae makapag-asawa ng mayaman. O better, siguro, ang the best that a mother would think of her daughter is talagang hindi lang makapasa sa board as a doctor, or her son sa bar as a lawyer, or as an engineer in a board exam. Pero maging successful, and maybe sabihin natin, a doctor with subspecialty and kilala, like a George Garcia for cardiology and a surgeon for the heart. Or sabihin natin, the desire of a mother that her son priest becomes a bishop. Why not? Cardinal. Bakit hindi? Mga magulang siguro ni Cardinal Chito wish that they would still live if Cardinal becomes Pope. What's the best that mothers would wish to their children? To sit at your right and at your left. It's not a bad wish, brothers and sisters. Kasi ang understanding ng mother na to, if Jesus is the Messiah, He is the Messiah promised by God that will sit in glory. That will be a great, a wondrous ruler, king of Israel. So sino hindi umaasam-asam na ang lapit-lapit naman ng dalawang ito, kasama si Simon Peter, kilala na they are the close circle, inner circle of the Master. Bakit na lang hindi pa asamin na sila to sit on his left and on his right once he becomes the Messiah proclaimed, the Messiah accepted, the Christ. Jesus is sitting at the right hand of the Father. So, sino ang nasa left of Jesus? Kung siya ay nasa right hand of the Father, it's the Father. Sinasabi po na yan. He is seated at the right hand of the Father. I believe in God. So, sino ngayon ang nasa kaliwa ni Jesucristo? Ang kanyang ama. Aba, ang ama niya ay nasa sentro. Hindi si Jesus ang nasa sentro. Sino usually ang nasa kaliwa, nasa kanan ng ama? Kung nasa kanan niya si Jesus, sino ay nasa kaliwa ng ama? Sabi ni Jesus, yung gusto ng ama. Sabi niya dito, as sitting at my right and at my left, it's not mine to give. But for those, it has been prepared for by my Father. Yung pala eh. The Father has prepared that on the left side of Jesus will be Himself, the Father, because He is sitting at the right hand of God. Sino yung nasa kanan ngayon ni Jesus? Huwag natin pag-usapan yung nasa kaliwa ng Ama. Alam niyo ba kung sino? Tingnan niyo ang karamihan ng mga pictures ang mahal na Birhen. Yun ang niluklok ng Ama. In fact, by August 22, we shall have the feast of the coronation of the Blessed Mother. A month from now. Sino itong nakaluklok sa kanan ng Ama at nasa kanan ng kanyang anak? Ito yun, no? The one who came to serve and not to be served. Can you imagine that of Jesus? Of course. Nangyari ba yan kay Jesus? Of course. Nangyari ba yan sa mahal na Birhen? Of course. Of course. Tapos, because He has come to serve, sabi ni Jesus, even to give His life as a ransom for many. Did Jesus do that? Of course. Did the Blessed Mother do it? Of course. Mother of sorrows. Jesus, afflicted, tortured, persecuted, killed, hanging on a cross. That is the service. And that is befitting of those who sit at the right hand of God. And God's Son's right hand, His mother. That's why the request of Jesus to the mother of the sons of Zebedee, and He spoke this to the two boys, can you drink the chalice I'm going to drink? Sabi niya, yes, we can. Dali ng yes, we can. Ha? Parang, sabi yung yes, we can. SM ba yun? We've got it all. BDO, we find ways. Pero both, siguro yung holdings company, yes, we can. Yes, we can. Ay, nako, James and John. If you only knew, sabi ni Jesus. First of all, those who will really sit on my left and my right will be the two criminals. And you will not be there. You will not be there. Takot nyo lang. Drinking the cup I would be given on a hyssop, a sour wine. It will be a chalice of my blood. So what does a mother know to be best for her children? I'm sure all mothers would like to have their children sit in glory with God. I wish I could sit in glory with God. My mother wishes it for me. But part of that wish, brothers and sisters, kayong mga nanay, kayong mga magulang, you also wish for your children to suffer. You want to have, that they would have a beautiful wife, you will suffer for her. You want to have your daughter a rich man, she will suffer for him. You want your children to be in the board exam successful, the bar exam successful, you'll have to suffer for them. Pag nagdoktor ang inyong anak, plus 4 more years, plus maybe 5 more years, nag-subspecialty pa, plus 8 more years after college, you'll have to suffer for them. Before we attain any form of even human glory, we need to suffer for it. We have to work for it. But then in the end, and so, I've known very successful men very intelligent, that have lost their mind. To this day, they don't know who they are, where they are. I've met a very, very rich man, architect of what Makati is today, on a wheelchair, paraplegic, 13 years. He cannot even swat a fly that is trying to sit on his nose. But if ever God offers us suffering and pain, and above all, when we accept that suffering and pain, as St. Paul would say, not to be destroyed, not to be driven, not to be constrained, it's because we suffer for the kingdom. And that's James. He learned that thanks to the experience of the death, the suffering and death, and the resurrection, of course, of the Master. Now they have a different imagination, ambition. Now they know where glory will have to pass through. They now know that anumang sabihin natin ay tagumpay, ay may kaakibat, merong kasamang pag-aalay. Alam nyo, kung meron kayong coin, pera, di ba sa harapan, kara. Ano sa likod? Krus. Ayan ang ating laro, di ba? Kara krus. Pag yung inyong coin, kara sa harapan, tapos kara pa rin sa likod, tawag dyan, doble kara. Fake. It's a fake life without the cross. It's a fake glory without the cross. All good things come from Calvary. All good things come from the cross. Not because of the pain, but because of the why. And the why is the free choice, yung sariling pag-aalay ng sarili sa Diyos, sa kapwa. That would entail persecution, as St. Paul would say, suffering. But, brothers and sisters, those who sow in tears will reap with rejoicing. Yan po ang batas ng buhay. Unless a grain of wheat falls to the earth and dies, it but remains a grain of wheat. But if it dies, it bears fruit. So today po, with St. James, let's choose to die. Not because we want death, but because our ambition, our greatest ambition is life. Life seated with Christ in heaven. Whether on the left or on the right, I'm sure that's already occupied. But to be seated with God, to share the life of God, in this life, we have to share ourselves for the good of the other. That makes us a follower, a disciple, and of course, a testimony, saksi ng Panginoon. Let us now